Our top focus at this hour: Pakistan's November 1st deadline for the expulsion of undocumented migrants has now ended. And the Interior Ministry has now authorized arrest of illegally residing foreign nationals in Pakistan. The country is witnessing a surge in the return of Afghans, with thousands making their way across the border to the Taliban-ruled nation. The move has sparked a mass exodus, tearing families apart and raising concerns about human rights violations. As the deadline ended, more than 10,000 Afghans rushed to the borders on Tuesday. Large numbers of migrants crammed into trucks and buses, headed to the Torkham and Chaman border crossing to return home. According to Pakistani officials, the border crossing in Chaman will remain open till 4 p.m. local time to allow those who have arrived there to leave the country voluntarily.
We lived nearly 40 years in Pakistan, but they did not accept us, nor give us any documents so we can stay. As you can see, hundreds of families in these trucks are going back to Afghanistan, and we are gathered here at the Torkham border. Some of these families are going to Kabul, some to Jalalabad and some Kunar. But the disappointing thing for us is that they should have given us at least 1 year. Due to this short time of only 1 month, we sold our properties at very cheap prices. Now we are on our way to Afghanistan, and winter is coming, and there will be no work for us there.
I had my own business in Karachi. I left it. I sold all my stuff and I'm leaving with that money. Everything else was confiscated. I was arrested by the police a day ago and released on a payment of rupees 6,000, approximately $21 US. They are arresting people and releasing them on payment of money. The situation is extremely bad.
As the extension of deadline expires, the Pakistani government will now start arresting undocumented Afghans and take them to new holding centres, where they will be processed before being forcibly returned to Afghanistan. The deadline is part of a new anti-migrant crackdown that targets all undocumented or unregistered foreigners, according to Islamabad. But it mostly affects Afghans, who make up the bulk of migrants in Pakistan. According to Pakistan's Interior Ministry, the country is home to more than 4 million Afghan migrants and refugees, and about 1.7 million of them are undocumented.
I spent 45 memorable years here, but now it's over. I'm very upset because my business is down, and I'm worried about what we're going to do over there in Afghanistan in the winter. We can't do much because it's very cold there. If we'd had the chance to spend another 3 or 4 months here, it would have been great.
November 1 was the deadline for illegal aliens. That is tomorrow. They have until tomorrow to return voluntarily. From the 2nd onward, a very lengthy gradual operation will start.
Islamabad had announced the plan earlier this month, saying that Afghan nationals had been behind attacks, smuggling and other crimes in its territory. Although since the accusations made by Pakistan, Kabul has dismissed it, saying Pakistani security is a domestic issue. While rights groups are protesting against Islamabad's move, asking Pakistan to reconsider. In addition to that, Western embassies and the United Nations have urged Pakistan to identify and protect Afghans at risk of persecution at home. It also added that Pakistan must meet its international legal obligations, including the principle of non-refoulement, and stop the crackdown against and harassment of Afghan refugees across the country. For more updates on the story, we are now being joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik. He's live with us from Islamabad. Anas, what does the situation look like? What's happening at the border?
Well, Priyanka, we're seeing that en masse repatriations, as what Pakistani authorities say, they're voluntary repatriations. Just in 1 month, we've seen 126,017 people being repatriated or voluntarily repatriating themselves. Just yesterday, in the past 24 hours, we saw 21,536 individuals from the Afghan side being repatriated. That included 7,292 men, 5,280 women and 8,964 children. They used about 319 vehicles for these repatriations. A short while back, we saw that order being surfaced from the Pakistani Ministry of Interior that has now authorized the arrest, detention and deportation, or rather repatriation of all illegally residing foreigners in the country. That includes Afghan nationals as well. The Interior Ministry had said, the Federal Cabinet in fact had deliberated upon and had authorized the repatriation of all illegally residing foreign nationals. That is about 1.73 million. A bulk of which is Afghan nationals, that's about 1.2 million out of that 1.7 million. And tomorrow onwards, or in fact just today onwards, we will be seeing a massive crackdown being launched by the authorities against those who are overstaying their visa or who are not registered with the system. Priyanka.
Right. Anas, reports also say that about 100,000 Afghan immigrants have voluntarily gone back to their country. What's going to happen to those remaining? Where will they go if Pakistan doesn't extend the deadline?
Well, as I said, 126,017 people, 126017 is the figure, to have voluntarily repatriated as of yesterday. Today is when the deadline expires, and then after that we will be seeing that a major crackdown will be launched. The Afghans will be categorized, those who are illegally residing will be categorized into 4 categories. That number 1 are those who are involved in smuggling. The second are those who are involved in dollar hoarding. The third are those who are involved in narcos. And the fourth are those who are involved in terrorism, be that be aiding or abetting. And these will be the categorizations. Now, while Islamabad says that and vows that they will be deporting all illegally residing aliens or foreign nationals, realistically we're looking at about 40 to 45% of the figure being repatriated through forcible measures. That includes arrests and detentions as well. A short while back we saw that notification from the Ministry of Interior that has now authorized the arrest and detention of all illegally residing foreign nationals, including those who are overstaying their visa validity.
Right. Anas, thank you so much for all those updates, and thanks for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.